Okay, what's up, everybody? Wraith Realm TV, real quickly. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon for the latest news. I've been busy with personal shit. That's why I haven't done a review this week or anything like that. So make sure to rate, like, and subscribe. We are back better than ever, baby. Trying to catch up on a little bit of everything. I did watch AEW this week. Probably going to watch SmackDown tonight or probably tomorrow and review it for you guys. Just a lot of stuff that's coming out. Warner Brothers Discovery is selling assets like TNT Sports, CNN, and things like that. So I get why the national title is happening, but AEW has a title identity crisis. And I love how online everybody is turning this into a fanboy, tribalistic type deal. Like, look, stop stacking companies. Just because Tony Khan owns Ring of Honor doesn't mean we stack titles on titles. And if we're going to do that, then we need to do the same thing for Evolved, NXT, AAA, and WWE. And if you start doing that, then WWE's got a bloated amount of titles too. When it comes to AEW, they have way too many titles that have identity crisis. For instance, the Unified title has way too many chinks in the armor to where it has an identity crisis. What are they doing with Okada? The women's title, they put it on Statlander, but it has an identity crisis. You have plenty of women there to, challenge Statlander, but the problem is with that is you are putting all this resource into the women's tag team belts instead of you just gave Statlander this belt and you're putting her on ice. You see the identity crisis that they have? The TNT belt. Have we seen Kyle Fletcher do anything outside of Collision? We're not putting him on the main show. You're trying to make him into a big deal. See the identity crisis that they have? They need to be featuring the titles that mean something within their company. Adam Page is kind of getting lost in the sauce a little bit. The trios belts, you brought him in, you put the ops on it, you made Samoa Joe one of the best bout for bout promo machines out there, and you've really they need to go back to the drawing board, to be honest with you. They need to go back to this drawing board and figure out each title and how to book around it storyline wise, because it's getting a little kerfuffled and it's getting a little lost in the sauce. Now, this new title, I get why they're doing it, and the way they went about it was just boneheaded. Let's just keep it real. The way they went about it was boneheaded. They had the two Tonys on TV, Tony Schiavone and the owner, Tony Khan, and they were making it out to be like it's an NWA title, and it's like, no, it's a new title. And I get why you're doing it, because Warner Brothers Discovery is selling TNT Sports. They are selling their assets, and they're waiting for a buyer. So they're going to have to put something in play for that TNT belt, because they're going to probably be shopped to a new company. Their contract's going to be bought, or they're going to be let go. Warner Brothers Discovery is losing money by the day. So there you go. There's some facts for your ass. But at the end of the day, you can't compare Ring of Honor. You can't stack them. You can't. I love how all these people like to stack. Then if that's the case, then we got to do the same thing for all the promotions WWE owns. And then you can see how many titles that are there too. If we're talking about just AEW as a whole, then yeah, there is identity crisis. And yes, NWA came out and roasted the shit out of, Mondo came out and roasted the shit out of AEW for it. And they deserve it. It's well deserved. AEW screwed up with their announcement. They should have just made this into a new title, and Tony Khan should have said, yeah, I took inspiration from NWA. I was talking to Tony, and Tony wanted this title, so I decided, you know what, we'll make this into a title. They're doing it because the TNT belt's going to be in limbo coming soon. Their TV title is going to be literally, no joke, on ice, because what's going on with Warner Brothers Discovery going forward. So, going down, and they were talking, Georgia Championship Wrestling. Yeah, but that was part of the NWA / WCW. So, Tony Khan, they got identity crisis going on in AEW. They got to figure out their titles when it comes to their tag team divisions. They need to start building their rosters on what is going to be where. Yeah, they could put on these great pay-per-views. Yeah, they could book kind of decently. And yes, they can be somewhat better and more entertaining than WWE at times, but they have an identity crisis when it comes to these titles. Their titles are all over the place, and they have too many cooks in the kitchen, too many factions, too many things going on right now, and they gotta clean it up. Hopefully when they hit the reset button after World's End and all this stuff, that they sit back and they kind of hit the reset button and figure out what's next for AEW, because they're gonna have to coming soon if Warner Brothers Discovery is being sold to Amazon, Netflix, whatever. And let's just say, what if AEW doesn't get picked up by the new company and contract-wise? They get canceled, and this new company eats cost. Then, yeah, AEW is going to be forced to go on YouTube or one of them, and, yeah, they're going to need a title that replaces TNT. So I get why the national title, they're doing it. They're doing it now because they're putting their ducks in a row because they're going to have to. But nobody talks like this. Everybody wants to say, oh, there's too many titles here. There's too many this. AEW has an identity crisis. I agree with that when it comes to titles. But I'm not going to put Ring of Honor in that conversation because they're two separate entities within one. That's like me comparing or me stacking WWE, Evolved, AAA, NXT. And if you put those all together, yeah, there's a shit ton of belts. But they're all different within the WWE ecosystem. It's the same with AEW. So where does AEW go from here? Well, Tony Khan's been well known for booking great tournaments. But I want to see what they do with this title, because I hope this title is just not here for fun, and then the next minute they're merging it with another title. Keep the international title as your intercontinental belt. Get rid of the unified title and bring that back as your national or Atlantic title. So you have like a European title, you have your national American belt, and then like you could do something cool. I don't mind AEW having belts, but book your belts properly and build them to be prestigious and make them worth our time as a viewer. I don't care. You can have 12 titles. I don't care, as long as they're prestigious. Look at how New Japan works their stuff around. Take a look at TNA to an extent. Like these companies that, even some of the indie promotions out there book their titles well. At the end of the day, AEW has a crisis, and they got to figure this out. There's just no doubt. But yeah, I want to see what they do full gear wise. I want to see what the future is. I've been watching AEW. I've been back watching wrestling. Yeah, I covered Monday Night Raw. I wasn't impressed with Monday Night Raw. Still ain't impressed with WWE stuff. They're hitting reset buttons. Now we're finding out Jey Uso possibly was under influence of shit. So that's rumor and speculated. Because he had an off match at Saturday night's main event, didn't really want to be there. And it just at the end of the day, AEW, WWE got to find their identity, man. Like booking on WWE television has been terrible, and AEW, I mean, their booking's solid. They've been doing solid things, but their titles and the way they're booking around those titles is a little bit wonky. And this announcement, like you had NWA coming out and roasting them. I wouldn't be surprised if Billy Corgan didn't do something, and all this does is benefit NWA, right? All of this just benefits NWA all together. So I'll put a link down below. You probably already know about this, but the reason they're doing it is because of the Warner Brothers Discovery deal. The Warner Brothers Discovery is dying, and they may be going bankrupt, supposedly. So there you go. Anyway, my name is Wraith Realm TV, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.